After 10 long years, a new anime by Rumiko Takahashi is finally in the works. Inuyasha will be returning in 2020 in the form of a sequel called Yashahime. This information has brought on a lot of mixed reactions from the fans. But first, let me rewind a bit and talk about the main characters in Yashahime. It will be following Moroha, i.e., Kagome and Inuyasha's daughter, which was not surprising. What was surprising was that the series also features Towa and Setsuna, the twin daughters of Seshomaru. Now let's be honest, none of us predicted or even expected that the stoic man who never showed romantic feelings towards anyone would actually marry or like anyone, let alone have kids. But now that this stone-cold fact is laid in front of us, the main question that arises is about the mother of his kids. With little to no options in front of the fans, many assume his travel partner of 3 years, Rin, to be the one who married him and gave birth to their children. The fandom is divided into two right now, with one side is justifying this pair by desperately clutching whatever pieces the canon material allows them to. In contrast, the other side is completely against this pair due to moral reasons. I will talk about the relationship between Seshomaru and Rin, as well as lay out my theory regarding the identity of his wife. Seshomaru and Rin are the embodiment of a classic story where a human who travels with a demon teaches him to slowly let go of his prejudices against her race. Rin is a human girl who was orphaned at a very young age. She discovered an injured Seshomaru in a forest near her village and relentlessly tried to help him. Despite the dog demon never actually eating the food, she continued with her actions. After Rin died because of a wolf attack, she was revived by Seshomaru, who was touched by her naive smile. Since then, she became his travel partner. Since Rin started traveling with him, her warmness and kindness significantly affected Seshomaru. Since she was barely 8 when she first met him, he constantly rescued and looked out for her. His growing compassion towards her allowed him to advance in battle. However, when he sought to improve his Mito Zanjutsuha technique, which came at the cost of Rin's life, he expressed nearly inconsolable grief, guilt, and shame for allowing her to die for the sake of his own power. Following Naraku's defeat, he sent her off to reside in a village and get used to living with humans once again, where she would be safe from potential harm. He gave her an unspoken choice, i.e., to experience the best of both worlds and then decide where she wished to live when she matured. Seshomaru does like Rin, but the context of like only extends as far as a parental bond or something akin to familiarity between two people traveling together. By the end of the series, Rin was positively still an 11-year-old, whereas Seshomaru, despite looking 19, which is still a big age difference, was more than 900 years in age. This ensures that there is no romantic relationship between them, and it should remain that way. Seshomaru was more or less shown to be emotionless and aloof in the series. Due to this, the rare moments when he did show affection, or even any emotion, were taken out of context and twisted to fit the narratives thought up by the viewers. One such target of his rare affection was Rin, who had been traveling with him since she was 8. Her naive and kind behavior caught his eye, and he did his best to protect the young child. However, these moments have led many in the fandom to believe that Seshomaru has romantic feelings for Rin, which is extremely questionable on moral grounds. First of all, Rin is 8. Even after taking her age by the end into account, she is still only 11. In contrast, Seshomaru, despite having a 19-year-old body, is 900 plus years in age. A relationship between them would not only edge into but streak past the pedophilic line. Many argue that he could have proposed to Rin after she turned 16 or older. But what they don't realize or consciously look past is the fact that the dog demon knew her since she was but a child. He accompanied her during her growing years. A romantic relationship between them will be akin to one between a parental figure and their kid, i.e., totally wrong on all levels. Due to his great demon bloodline, Seshomaru possessed a power that many demons desired. In accordance with his power and position, he was always composed and confident, displaying a calm, calculating personality at almost all times. More often than not, he was shown to be aloof and indifferent to everything around him. The rare moments of compassion and concern were reserved for his travel companions and later on extended to his brother Inuyasha and Kagome. The only time he showed anything akin to that towards a stranger was when Kyojuro was dying. While at first, Seshomaru appeared to be annoyed with her constant appearances, he still cared for and liked her. When Kyojuro was attacked by Naraku, it was revealed that she had romantic feelings for him, as she wanted to see Seshomaru one last time before she died. Her wish was fulfilled as not only did he acknowledge that he was there to meet her, but also showed great concern towards her well-being. Sesshomaru's concern for her became even more noticeable during the battle with Moriyameru, as it triggered his Tensiga. Not only that, he even became noticeably angry when his opponent insulted her memory. While whether he felt the same way towards Kagura is unknown, he undoubtedly cared for and liked her. The new sequel, Yashahime, Princess Half-Demon, that is set to release this year, will follow Inuyasha and Sesshomaru's children in a story transcending time. This has raised the main question about the mother's identity. With little to no options, many are assuming his travel partner of 3 years, Rin, to be the one who married him and gave birth to their children. The fandom is divided into two right now, with one side is justifying this pair by desperately clutching whatever pieces the canon material allows them to. In contrast, the other side is completely against this pair due to the moral reasons I talked about before. While there is indeed a slight possibility of Rin being the mother, as there's quite a large time skip after Inuyasha. The final act's finale, I have another theory about his children's origin. Thinking about it, Sesshomaru had never shown any romantic interest towards anyone in the series, but he did show a soft side for kids. It might be possible that the children in the sequel might not have been saved and adopted by him during his travels. As it seems unlikely for him to marry anyone at this point, this theory seems most probable. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.